Even though Cary is pushing 200,000 people, it likes to hold on to the facade of small town. Depending on where you're coming from, it may or may not feel like a small town, but the truth is it's pretty spread out and there are several distinct locations within the town of Cary, and they all have their pros and cons. Today we're going to look at the 5 different parts of Cary as defined by me. There aren't many real definitions of areas just yet in Cary. There are, of course, people pushing the inside the Maynard Loop to mirror the inside the Beltline in Raleigh, which I talked about in my breakdown of Raleigh. But for the most part, it's still the Wild West around here. So this is Cary as I see it. Also, I'm going to post a link to my website in the comments where you can see homes for sale organized into these areas. So if you like a particular one, you can easily find homes in that area. Inside the Maynard Loop is the area right here inside this road called Maynard Road. It's not actually called Maynard Loop Road, and the northern part of the loop, which isn't called a loop, combines with Highway 54, which is sometimes Chapel Hill Road. Incidentally, you'll see these fun little road name changes throughout the triangle area. That's just our way to try and keep you newbies on your toes. This inside the Maynard Loop area of Cary has become the most coveted area of Cary. Sometimes you'll hear this area referred to as Old Cary, as it's in the oldest part of the town, and homes in this area have generally been older than surrounding areas. However, we are seeing teardowns of older homes and new luxury properties built here. And that is no surprise. The town of Cary has done an amazing job, in my opinion, of planning and developing the downtown area into something truly beautiful. And it's not done yet. There are tons of new developments, including the expansion of the downtown park that's going to be awesome when it's finished. Inside the Maynard Loop includes both downtown Cary as well as the neighborhoods surrounding downtown Cary. Downtown is generally recognized as the Academy Street and Chatham Street corridors. The rest of the inside Maynard area is pretty walkable to downtown Cary, which is what makes it so desirable. There's pretty decent sidewalk access in many of these neighborhoods. Inside Maynard is the oldest section of Cary, and so the next area that was developed is just outside of that within the Cary Parkway Loop. Cary Parkway isn't a full circle, but the neighborhoods inside this partial loop are all built during a similar period, and it has a kind of similar feel throughout, even though there are all kinds of different types of housing available. This area was the beginning of Cary's incredible commitment to be a walkable community, and you can see how there are lots of greenways throughout this area. You can see on the map here that Bond Park is a central hub for the greenway system in Cary. Most of the trails throughout the city culminate at Bond Park. The 2 longest trails in the city, White Oak Greenway, which is just under 5 miles, and the Black Creek Greenway terminate at the park. Black Creek runs 7 miles from Bond Park all the way up the northern edge of Cary at Lake Crabtree. I love this section up here at the north side of Harrison because all these neighborhoods have access to the Black Creek Greenway, and there are some really nice developments in here that sit on much larger lots than many other locations in Cary, especially the ones with newer construction. Houses like this one in Wessex subdivision, look at this beautiful front porch. This home sits on half an acre, and you can access the Black Creek Greenway right here at the end of the street. I-40 is very accessible from this location in the northern corridor, and it's really centrally located to just about anywhere in the triangle. From this area, I can be in downtown Raleigh or downtown Durham in 15 minutes. I can be in RTP in 10 minutes, or I can be in Chapel Hill in 25 minutes. On the southern side of the parkway, there are some of Cary's most affordable neighborhoods. Kildare Farms neighborhood was one of the first master plan communities in Cary in the 1970s, and they offered a range of homes. This is where you can find smaller homes in the 13 to 1400 square foot range, but with the great amenities of the Kildare Farms Racket and Swim Club. And right across the street from here, you can walk to Trader Joe's, and there are some other great little shops and restaurants in this shopping center. And then on the east side of the loop, kind of in between Maynard Road and Cary Parkway, there are some older homes generally built in the 1970s in neighborhoods like Walnut Hills or Pirates Cove, but these homes are located where some huge changes are happening. Fenton is a new shopping district being built in East Cary right next to the Cary Soccer Park. This will be similar to the North Hills area in Raleigh. Across the street from Fenton is an older shopping mall that's being developed into the global headquarters for Epic Games. So all this will be walkable from these older neighborhoods in Cary, which makes it a really great location. West Cary is the part of Cary that has the newest development, and generally if you see new construction, it's probably going to be in this area. Not always, of course, because there are still filler lots and teardowns in Cary, but generally speaking, this is the spot for new construction. This is a beautiful area, but it does have a different feel from the rest of Cary. One reason people like it is because the real estate options are more diverse out here. You can find townhomes and condos and larger estate type homes, and they're all newer and not usually in need of updating like you'll find in other parts of Cary. There are 3 things that you should know about West Cary. First of all, you can't really tell when you're in Cary and when you've crossed over into Morrisville. I know I've said before that maps aren't always accurate for a real understanding of the area, but in this case, this gives you a pretty good idea of how mixed up Cary and Morrisville are. Morrisville really feels very much like Cary. The benefit of Morrisville is that it's about as close as you can get to RTP with the least commute time. And as you can see, there are also parts of Cary that are similar. Another thing to know about this area is that it doesn't have easy access to any highway that is going to get you east into downtown Raleigh. If you need to drive from West Cary to downtown Raleigh, you're going to sit at some traffic lights, and there are also some spots in this area, particularly Morrisville, that don't even have traffic lights. And when I accidentally turn down a particular road, I think I am never going to be able to make that left turn. It can be very frustrating. Traffic planning in this area is not fantastic, so getting into Raleigh from here isn't easy, but if you want Wake County schools, but you want to work in Durham, this is a great spot. You can easily pop up to Durham from here. And finally, this part of Cary kind of falls over into Chatham County. So there are homes with Cary addresses that are not part of the Wake County school system. You also don't pay Cary taxes in these areas, which is nice. But the biggest complaint I hear about being in Chatham County as opposed to Wake is that the bus ride to get to school is really long. Chatham is still more rural, and if your kids are in Chatham schools, they'll likely be driving through some country roads to get to them. And while that might not be a big deal, some parents don't like that evening activities at school can be 25 minutes or so away from home. It might not be a big deal to you, but it's just something to be aware of if you're looking for homes in this part of Cary. Make sure you know where the school is that your child will be attending. South Cary is what I like to refer to as the Southern Golf Courses. There's a lot more here than the two golf communities that live here, but these two neighborhoods, Lockmere and McGregor, are a big presence in Southern Cary. Both communities were built starting in the 1970s and as some of the first planned golf communities in the area. Some of the other great features of South Cary are the Koko Amphitheater. They have concerts and some really cool events here throughout the year, and it's pretty walkable from many of the neighborhoods in this part of town. Also, the Hemlock Bluffs Nature Preserve is a really cool place to visit. This is the only place outside of the mountains in North Carolina where you can find the eastern hemlock tree, and it actually feels like you're in the mountains in this preserve. It's even noticeably cooler in temperature. Also, the town of Cary splash pad is down in this area at Jack Smith Park, and Waverly Place is a shopping center where they have a nice lawn where they have summer concerts during the season. If you like this video, you might also like this one about why Forbes ranked Cary the best place to live in the United States.